All right, so I mentioned some breaking news, and this is something that we actually got from our colleague Henry McKenna at Fox Sports. Matthew Judon has asked for a new contract, and the Patriots have made an offer, according to a source close to the situation. But they are not currently close to agreeing to a new deal, reminding us he's on the final year of his contract and is set to make just $6.5 million in 2024. So, just a recap of the situation for anyone who isn't super plugged in. Last season, the Patriots actually did give Judon a one-year extension because he was in a similar situation. They wanted to make their veteran happy, but obviously tears his biceps, misses the entire season. Judon still gives you a ton of value. And considering it was an upper body injury for a pass rusher, you're thinking it might not affect him quite as much as if it were a lower body injury. But at the same time, he's still not happy with his current contract situation. And instead of sitting out like he did last season during some of the spring and summer practices, he's holding in. So he's still participating. He's full participant in drills, unlike Devon Gottschall, but still, again, like Gottschall, not really happy with where he's at right now. So, Claudia, I'll start with you. What do you think about this whole situation? Nice that Judon's actually participating and doing his thing. He said he didn't like what he did last year, but still, this is a guy who's a vocal leader on the defense, a playmaker, just something you can't really quantify, but also someone who's 32, again, still coming off a season-ending injury. What do you think they should do? Do you think they should try to move on from him? Do they try to satisfy him, keep him around long-term? How do you see this playing out?
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned the two things, the age and the injury. The two AI words that you don't really want to hear. It's tough for the Patriots team, though, that again doesn't have high expectations heading into the season, specifically around the offense. So if you can keep any sort of defensive players, especially probably one of your best, his best 2 years were the last two outside of, I guess, the prior two before he got hurt last season. I understand that he's older. I understand that he's hurt. But if the Patriots do want to have some sort of contention, yeah, you try to hold on to him. It's interesting how much inside we get now with social media. And, I was looking at some of his replies to people tweeting, say, you got to pay this man. He says, I don't think that's going to happen. So clearly he doesn't feel very satisfied, which is a little worrying. And again, going back to social media, you see players outside of the NFL, like Donovan Mitchell, which of course people don't know defensive players specifically in the NFL as well as they know the quarterbacks, the Christian McCaffreys of the world. Donovan Mitchell tweeted out, I don't know if you guys saw it, he was like, whoever that dude is with the red sleeves, he came to play today. So it's like he was that impact player for the Patriots when he was healthy. So, selfishly, I think it would be great for them as a Patriots fan to keep him because he was a huge piece for them. But I also do understand why maybe they don't want to go too crazy when they are sort of in a rebuild and spending too much cash on him if agent injury is a concern.
Mike, what do you think?
Yeah, Taylor, we were going to dive into this more on tomorrow's show in our Patriots depth projection series with the linebackers, but yeah, well, a little tidbit because now we get the report from Henry that they have actually extended an offer and he's looking for one, but they're not that close, so we can hit on that a little bit more. But ultimately, his trade value isn't necessarily going up, but the idea of him being traded is going up. I think throughout this entire saga, I think. You see the tweets and he's taking after me with the SpongeBob meme saying, all right, I'm going to head out and stuff. Like, I'm looking at his stats right now because I was just writing about it for the website, and 12 and a half sacks in 21, 15 and a half sacks in 22. And then he gets hurt. And now he's, past the age of 30. It's like, okay, is he really a part of your rebuild from 2025 and beyond? Because that's the key year and the number that I keep looking at with this team, because they're not going to tank this season, but 2024 doesn't necessarily matter. This is the ground floor of this new regime, new era, new rebuild, rookie coach, rookie quarterback, etc. If you see Judon as Elliott Wolf and company in the personnel department, if you see Judon as a part of the rebuild in 25 and beyond, then extend him. If you don't, you might as well get something for him on the trade market. That's kind of my ultimate look at this whole situation.
Yeah, I do think keeping Judon is still important. And again, because the leadership he brings, the playmaking, like those are just things that you're not just going to get from anybody. But at the same time, if you look at it from a business perspective, Patriots have been extending a lot of players, throwing a lot of money around for guys in their building, trying to set that foundation. But when you look at Judon and Gottschall, two older guys, like the only people that are going to be in their 30s this season with the Patriots extended were David Andrews and Hunter Henry, two guys who have been captains and are probably going to play almost every snap for you. You can't really say the same about Judon because Anthony Jennings just signed a long-term deal. He was one of the best run-stopping edge defenders in the entire NFL, and he's someone who you'd think on first, second down, or short yardage situations, it's going to be him on one side of the line, and then Jelani Tavai, another guy who just got an extension, on the other side. So you're looking at Judon as a rotational guy on early downs. And in pass rush situations, that's where he really shines. You could put him and Uche, Keon White, a guy who really was more of a defensive end last season, but also played outside linebacker. So you're still not sure what you're going to get out of him necessarily. As much as I like Judon being the guy where it's like, we know exactly what we're going to get. And he gives you even more depth at a position where you need to have depth. It's great to have waves of defenders. If I'm the Patriots, I'm saying the buck has to stop somewhere. And clearly they offer the contract. We have no idea what that looks like, but I'm probably leaning more on the side of guaranteed money, more so than, all right, let's keep him around for 2 more years. And I'm guessing that maybe the Patriots did maybe think about a long-term offer, but the money just wasn't right. We have no idea. This is pure speculation. But as much as I'd like to keep Judon around, I think business-wise, it would also make sense if this is the season where you move him. I don't even know if you're going to get that much. That's the other thing I don't like about this. Because, I mean, given the situation, what do you think they're even going to get for him? I'm thinking like a 5th. You're really happy. Maybe you package him with another late-round pick and get something a little higher in the mid-rounds. That's the best-case scenario. But what do you guys think about possible returns? Because I just don't think it's going to be great.
Yeah, it's probably not the best time to be on the trade market, kind of like Mike said, after a year of being hurt at the age. But then the question is, are you going to next season? Like, is there really ever going to be a good time? Probably the best time would be now.
What do you think, Mike?
As far as a return, look, it may not be great, but anything is better than having him walk away and not get anything for him. Like he plays 2024, call it. If you don't extend him and you don't trade him, and he holds out and you do whatever, but nothing actually happens, he still has to play this season, right? So if he plays, does okay, you still win 5 games, and then he leaves, I would rather a 7th-round pick this next season. I'm sorry, I just would. I don't think, and I'm not saying they should, trade him for a 7th-round pick, but I think at the end of the day, you take the return you can get because it's better than him just walking away for nothing. But realistically, I mean, would a team give up a 4th-round pick for him? Probably, and I would probably do that. I think that's fine value with where he is and where he's at in his career right now.
What pains me is that you said you get 5 wins. The fact that is what's so likely going to happen for the Patriots just makes me so depressed. And you lose him probably maybe 4, maybe 5.
Yeah, but so the thing with the 5 wins, and the way I keep looking at this season, it's like if you have 5 wins, but there's actually like tangible things to kind of look at moving forward. Call it Drake May and the receivers. Like that almost, instead of 1 more win than last year, that feels like 4 or 5 more wins, because last year was just the Belichick saga. And when's this going to, where's Mac Jones going to go? Like there's still things that you can build on. So even if they only have 1 more win in the win column, there's a lot more things to hang your hat on for the season after.
It was a chapter of a book that was left open a little bit too long. So I agree.
Exactly.
Yeah. Ceiling is higher in general, just day 1 with this new roster.
And hey, you get a day 3 pick that could turn into Pop Douglas, that could turn into Jakeem Bell. So you never know. And if he hits the market and signs, there's no guarantee you're going to get a compensatory pick. So I really like that.